guys continue to keep raising prices because they can do it. They can get away with it. And that's where a lot of this inflation, why it's hard to get this inflation down. And as far as the consumer, how remarkably well he's doing, well, that's a big lie. That's a lie and a half, for God's sakes. If that was the case, then why is it that the personal bankruptcies are up 23% for the first 6 months of this year? And small businesses, those bankruptcies are up 111%. And that's your middle class who's really getting hurt. And then why is it that 62% of the people who have credit cards can't pay them off? They're going to keep paying minimum payments at 20%. Oh, but they're remarkable. 62% of households who have these credit cards, they can't pay them off. They keep going on with minimum payments. Now, one of the biggest contradictions of July 12th, the CPI came out, how everything was just getting great. Things are just coming together and, pricing coming down, inflation's coming down, everything's wonderful. But one of the biggest contradictions, it was reported yesterday, we had the biggest drop in U.S. production. Wait a minute. We had the biggest drop in retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing. Wow. Yet, the fake business network is keeping up their false narrative, as is Powell. Their narrative of July 12th. The inflation's cooling. It's good news. And there are no recessions as inflation cools. So they said, don't worry about a recession. We never have recessions when inflation cools. And inflation's cooling. So this is great news, and the market went up. But that's a lie. Check it out yourself. We've had about 4 or 5 recessions between the 80s and 2008, 2010. We had about 4 or 5 recessions. And every time, that's just a falsehood. No recessions as inflation cools. So at least 4 times inflation was cooling, and we have a recession. You always have a recession when inflation's cooling. They're just, again, lying. That's why when you're in the stock market, you can't listen to the jibber-jabbers. Listen to the market. And the only way you can talk to the market is have the best tools, have the best charting. And that's what we do here at Phil's Gang. We designed our own chart, especially our color-coded chart. So, and again, remember, we had this big surge in May, remember? It was a big surprise. Housing starts, building permits. But wait a minute. They both declined in June. And starts saw a huge downward revision. They revised those downward. Remember I told you about the builders. Now, we're long PHM and we're long KBH. XHB, the ETF, and PHM, Pulte. And we've been long Pulte for quite a while. We have 2 entry levels in Pulte. We got into Pulte at, I think, 55 or 56.84 in March, and then we got in again at around $77.93 in July. And at the same time, we also bought XHB, the ETF. Now, these stocks, the builders, remember, they're the last to go because their orders are in arrears, and it takes a long time for those orders to catch up and be finished where they can count it as a sale. But that's going to be a wonderful opportunity to sell short. You just got to know when, and we'll help you with the win. Now, if what the fake business network is saying in Powell, the economy is getting better and inflation is cooling, then why is it that Bank of America doesn't agree? Bank of America warned. They said with all this tightening, that means they're not pushing loans out the door. And when they don't push loans out the door, they have a reason for that. They want to hold on to the liquidity for defaults. And when they don't push those loans out the door, that really hurts our economy. So with all this tightening going on, they raise rates to discourage anyone from going to the bank and borrowing money. And if you want to borrow it, then you're going to have to pay a big price. So they warned with the tightening, with the tougher credit, and you take that environment, then combine that with a full-blown recession. They didn't say maybe a recession or a possible recession. It would result in nearly a $1 trillion in corporate debt defaults. Well, they didn't say that on July 12th. They didn't say anything about that, did they? No. See, you need to know what stocks to be in when you're in a situation like this. And we'll help you with that. Join our gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. We'll be right back with a lot more.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there with the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. Phil'sGang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With Phil'sGang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to Phil'sGang.com. Phil'sGang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
The economy is remaining strong.
Don't you love that? Don't you love that? If it's so strong, then why did they do this? Why did the bank, they call it the BTFP, it's a fund, and they put in $25 billion, and they're going to put in a total of $2 trillion to prop up the banks. You don't see that around, do you? You don't hear much about that, do you? But we were told on July 12th, just like we were told, all the banks passed their stress tests. Well, we know how that happens. Just like with Hillary Clinton, she was given the questions before the debate. Well, same thing with the banks. They get the questions before the examiners come in so they know exactly what they're going to look for. But think about this for a minute. BTFP, $25 billion to prop up the banks, even the big ones. Another $2 trillion. And we're being told everything's fine, the economy's great, inflation's coming down. But here, China, bunch of commies, they're telling the truth about their economy. They're saying, wow, we're in deep trouble. We have deflation because deflation is so severe. This is why Powell won't tell the truth, and this is why you won't get the fake business network to tell the truth. You got to learn how to short. You got to learn how to short. So the Bank of America warned, saying the opposite of what the fake business network is saying, and Powell. Unbelievable. So remember this too, what Bank of America said. The total loan defaults will rise to 11.3%. That's just below the all-time high of 12%. You know how bad that is? And the defaults they're predicting are going to surpass 2008. Also, the economy is getting better and inflation is cooling. Then why the credit crunch? Why the tightening? Why is capital still much more expensive now? And remember, if you go back over the last 15 years, the cost of debt was about 4 to 6%. It's 13%. It's now 13%. And everything is okay. The economy's okay. Everybody's doing well. Let's talk about the defaults. Corporate loan defaults up 53%. 53% for the first 6 months. What are you, nuts? And they've already surpassed all of 2022, but everything's great. We're fine now. Inflation's cooling. Everything's okay. That's it. No recession coming. Soft landing. Now let's think about this. The defaults, all due to the credit tightening. They're tightening the credit. That causes higher rates. As I said, banks tighten for the purpose of raising rates so you won't go in for a loan so they can have that money to take care of their defaults. I don't know why they need any money when they got the BTFP account. It's going to put $2 trillion in for them. Now, let me ask you that. If things were so good and there's not going to be defaults and there's not going to be a crash and there's not going to be a recession, then why the hell do they need an account, the PTFP account? What's it called? Bank for, what's it called? Bank, I forgot what the initials are for. Bank Term Funding Program. That's it. Thank you. Why do we need a bank term funding program? Bank Term Funding Program. Don't you like the names they give everything? Homeland Security. Bank Term Funding. Well, that sounds impressive, doesn't it? They already took $25 billion from the $2 trillion. But everything's okay. Don't worry. We're all right. Corporate loan defaults up 53%. Surpassed all of 2022. Bankruptcies, personal, 23% it's up. Small business, bankruptcies up 111% in your middle class. This is just for 6 months. Now, let me tell you what he's worried about. Then we'll get to stocks. Powell and his pals at the Fake Business Network, they're masking the truth. Why? Because Powell knows what acceleration of interest rates mean. You lost the fight with inflation. When you fight inflation, you go from 0 to 5%, and it's already destroyed your country. Now you see the dollar coming down, yields coming down. That's all you got to watch. Watch the dollar. Dollar goes down. Always remember inflation's going up because the cost of our commodities are going up. Oil, everything, corn, all. So it makes it more difficult for borrowers to refinance existing loans. That's the problem. You know, as you keep on raising, when you have this reacceleration of inflation and you're already at 5%, it's not going to be no time before we're at 7 and 8%. And if you think it's difficult now for borrowers to refinance existing loans, and the large corporations, remember, they've had on their books 0 interest rate loans for 13 years. That's why their defaults are up 53%. But everything's okay. So what do? Well, you got to learn how to sell short. That's all. And then you don't care about anything. You don't even need to know any of the stuff I went over. Once you learn how to sell short, you learn how to follow yields, because yields are a great thing. The yields will always tell you when you're ready to buy a stock if you should buy it or not. Because if a yield is going up, you know what stocks to buy. Yields are going down, you know what stocks to sell short. And if you have my Pro 2 color-coded chart, which tells you when money's coming out of the market, coming out of your stock, or going in your stock, then I always tell my members in the morning, before the market opens, after I give them my coffee talk, tell them what I think is going to happen. The last thing I say to them, look, remember, whatever you're thinking right now, okay, just get rid of your opinion of the market. Get rid of it when you're trading and investing. Get rid of your opinion. And that way there, you won't lose your money. You can't bring into the market your opinion. You've got to bring in market your knowledge of investing. And if you don't have the knowledge of investing, do you know that 85% of people who buy stocks never look at volume? Do you know that 88% of people don't even know what a stochastic is? They don't look at volume, don't look at stochastic. They only look at one thing. On the right-hand column of a chart, the price. That's all they look at. They'll buy, here I'm looking at right now, HOG. Okay, looking at HOG. It's at 36.61. All they know is 30, they better buy it before it goes to 37.20. That's how they buy it. They don't know that all this is it's solid red. It's solid red telling you there's not enough buyers in here. You have more sellers than buyers. Okay, it's going up, but stocks can go up when you have more sellers than buyers because you have short covering going on. Short covering. But this stock I'm looking at, HOG, if that turns green, then we'll buy it. If it doesn't, and she breaks below its low of July 7th, we'll sell it short. Imagine that. Every stock you buy, you can either make money as it goes up, and you can make as much money or more faster when it goes down. Imagine having that tool that you don't have to worry if the stock's going to go up or down. Now, how do you do that? Well, first of all, you're not going to look at every stock out there. You know, I mean, people go and watch TV and just look at stocks, millions of stocks, wait for Kramer, somebody's giving you. No, you can't do that. Let me show you how you make money when you get back. Let me tell you.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026. Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Bill, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Bill's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grandy can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know what I tell my members every time earnings seasons come? Just buy the spiders. They always go up. Why? Because you got the banks in them. And remember, they always rig the banks to run, because they're the first ones earnings season that report. They always rig those to run. And so if you have the spiders, you also have the 7 magnificent stocks, the big tech stocks. So why take a risk and go in an individual stock when you can buy, especially if you're really not a professional, just buy the Qs. I mean the spiders, just buy the spiders. And if you've been with us in the spiders, you've done really, really well. You'll make more money in the spiders you'll ever make in a 401k. Give you an example. Our spiders, we started buying the spiders back in January. And then we bought them a second time, and this is when we got the biggest run. We started to buy, there was a perfect setup in April. So we got into the spiders in April. It was somewhere around $405, $406, and now it's $455. That's a 12%. So you own all the stocks, the basket of the stocks. Our Pro 2 shows you it's totally green, so you stay with it. And you're going to learn how to put stops in, so when they pull back a certain amount, you have a guarantee you'd only lose so much. You control it with a stop, how much you're going to lose. It's like owning an insurance policy. But that's the best thing for you to do every earnings season, because banks always push the market up. So just be in the Qs, because then you got all the, as I say, all the tech stocks. So if you take Bank of America right now, BAC, that's another one of our favorite stocks, BAC. Okay. Now, Bank of America. Now, I'm going to give this to you, but do not, unless you're a gang member, do not purchase this stock. Like I say, people hear me talk about a stock. They're too cheap to join the gang, so they figure, well, if Phil talk about a stock, and I'll go on and I'll buy it. And then when you lose money on it, I read somewhere, oh, I listened to Phil Gray, I lost money. But you don't tell them the truth. You don't say, well, I was too cheap to join the gang. I listened to him. I picked this stock up, thought I'd get this for free, and I lost money. It's my fault because I'm not a gang member. He can't contact me. He can't tell me when to add or not add or get out. That's my fault, being a cheapskate. So please do not buy this stock. So we're looking at Bank of America. Our Pro 2 color-coded stock chart is setting up perfect. We have a perfect stochastic. Our chart just turned green. Let me see if we got a W formation in here. Okay, perfect W formation. Okay. And only one thing, you got to wait, because it's going into a tough resistance, what they call a 200-day moving average. It's where all the sellers are. If it breaks above 31, let's say you get a 31.85, 32, be even better, 32, then you buy it. If it's still green. Now see, if you're going to take this, now you're not a gang member, you do this, and you lose money, blame yourself. Because how are you going to get a hold of it? How do I communicate with you what to do with the stock? So you think just because they say it's going up, it just keeps going up forever. No, it's not how it works. You got to manage your stock. You got to manage your position. It's work. But we have the best tools to do it with. So check them out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. God, you have it for 10 days free, so don't be a cheapskate. Just go to my site, sign up for 10 days. No obligation. Decide not to stay, and you use the knowledge, and you're making money off the knowledge, and you didn't stay with the guy, that's fine. But just do me a favor and send some money to the kids once in a while, okay, at St. Jude. But that's a perfect setup. Now, here's the thing. A person would not know. They would go and they would buy it today at 31.53. Or they'd hear Kramer, somebody else, go in and buy BAC. What they're doing is this. They're merging with this bank, and they're doing with that bank, and they just got this global thing, and they're doing options, and they just give you this whole line of crap that means nothing. It's all noise. But the one thing they didn't tell you, it's at 31.53, and at 31.80, you're hitting a lot of sellers at 31.80. Tons of sellers. See, on your moving average line, it's a little line on the chart. It identifies for you where all the buyers and sellers are. They fight with each other at that point. Now, if the buyers went out, then it'll go up big. So what you can do is buy a scout. You can buy it today, and then when it breaks out, let's say let's use 32 to make it easy, above 32, then you're going to have a good run. Or you can do another thing. You can go in and put a advanced order to buy the stock Bank of America at 32, say 32.12. And it's already in there. It's advanced. So when it hits it, it'll get filled. And another thing, people never will look at the volume. You know all they'll look at is the sidebar. They're just going to look at the numbers on the sidebar. That's it. They'll never look at the volume. They'll never look at the momentum. They'll never look to see if there's more sellers than buyers. They'll never look at anything. Because that's what Wall Street wants. That's how they program you. They program you. Don't worry. You're going to be fine. And then what I love is when the stock starts coming back down, you're losing money. Cost average down. Cost average down. Boy, if you bought the stock at 100, you're going to really like it at 50. If people really believe that. The stock starts going down, it's downtrending. You never do that. The only time you buy on a dip is when the stock is going up and you have a solid uptrend. But 99% of people don't know that. So if you have a stock that's, let's say, rallying from 31 and then it's at 36, 37, then it pulls back 5%. As long as the trend's going up and the volume's getting better, and you have relative strength in the stock, and my chart does all that for you. Think about the chart. You don't have to be looking at RSI or your MACD, or it's all the algorithms have it all combined. So when it turns red or green, all of that is processed. What a beautiful thing. Other people, they say, okay, you go by your chart now. You need this, you need that, and you need this chart for that. You don't need any of that. But Bank of America. Now remember, these banks during earnings season are the best ones to be in. Now I'm not talking about the regional banks. I'm talking about the big banks because they're always going to make sure those stocks go up. And take, for example, Morgan Stanley. The one thing you got to know is if it's going to go up and continue what we call a position trade, or is it a swing trade? And even though Morgan Stanley shot up from around 87 to 93, what people don't realize, the stock's weak. Just because stocks go up doesn't mean they're strong. So what you should have done, instead of buying it as a position trade, you buy it as a swing trade. And you would have had a nice little profit over 3, 4, 5 days. So you got two things you can do. You do a swing trade or a position trade. And you can sell short. And you can go long. And once you learn how to do that, it's so easy. You don't care what they're doing. You could care less what the economy's doing, what the stock market's doing, who cares what the company's doing? People that buy a stock and they research the company and go through all the fundamentals of the company, are you nuts? It's not like it used to be, okay? No, the whole market, okay, is rigged, okay? Remember, and that's a good thing. If this market wasn't rigged, we'd have never had a 1,200% rally in the NASDAQ from 2008 to November 2022. $2.1 trillion was printed and put in the market to push the NASDAQ up 1,200%. And if you knew what you were doing, and if you had our color-coded chart, and if you remember, you'd have been making money. And now you're going to make money when it comes back down. But remember, it takes longer. You have to be patient for stocks for the market to break down. But boy, once it breaks down, unlike going up, there's no safety nets. I mean, the market drops 10 times faster than it goes up. And once you learn how to short and you catch that, you want to do nothing else but short stocks. Okay, join my gang. Go to philsgang.com where it says Get Started. And also you can watch my video on Pro 2 Color Code.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.